Hey, Mia.
Hi, Heidi.
Hi, honey. How are you?
I'm okay. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Day by day, right?
I know, hon.
Yeah.
Well, I've been thinking about you. I said my heart breaks.
Oh my gosh. Listen, I can't express enough how grateful I am for all of you. You've just been so incredibly patient with me, just to get through this. Yeah.
hmm
Crazy. This one kind of knocked me down.
Well, you know what? Like I said, it's special circumstances, but I mean, he was a child of yours, right? Doesn't
Hmm.
matter how old or what the circumstance brought into your life. He was a child of yours, and it's a
Hmm.
loss.
It is.
So, I said,
Yeah.
as mothers, we understand. Thank you.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. It's also hard to watch my kids go through it too. My eldest Michael, of course, was the closest to Terry.
hmm
So he's had a really hard time. And Terry was obsessed with bananas. He loved bananas so much. So Michael went out this week and he got a banana tattoo put on his hand right here.
Oh,
Yeah, so I feel for him. That was a real, like, it was a good closure for him to have that and
yeah.
have it close to him. So yeah, that was a good one. That's good,
hmm
isn't it? Fun.
Yeah. You know,
How are you?
I don't know. I've been feeling a little lost this week. And I said,
Okay.
yeah, I am. It's down period for my business. So I said, when I'm bored, I don't like being bored. I like being busy. And then I said, even hours at the LCBO have been cut for me. It's not that big of a deal because I said I went from 10 to 5 hours, but I said, it was just something to get me out. So my school is now coming to a closure this week too. And right now, like I said, I need to talk to you too when you're ready to talk about the PPA because I said there's a lot of questions I have right now. So I'm just up in the air with a lot of things.
Good, good.
And
I'm
I just need
glad you have a
some,
lot of questions. I'd love to set something up with you for next week.
okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
like I said, a lot of things right now are not kind of making sense to me.
okay.
And I need to make sure that I'm going in the right direction.
100%, honey. I agree.
Yeah, yeah. So that's where I'm going to feel. I just feel kind of a little lost in limbo right
Mhm. Well, let's get you back.
now.
Because
Okay.
I got to tell you, I felt like this past week as well. So I'm like really ready to get back on track, which is
Yeah,
good.
yeah. I just didn't want to bother you. Like I said, with, what things were going on and stuff like that. So,
No, but so send me your schedule this week when you're available, and let's set up a meeting.
okay. Okay.
Yeah, 100%. You're in a different room today.
I was the same room as last week. This is my office. So I get to close the door. I'm using my husband's laptop. So instead of the main computer, that's in our upstairs TV room. And our upstairs TV room is a dark, dark blue. So I'm really, really in the dark when I'm using that computer. So the last two times now I'm down in my office. I get to close the door. So you're not going to see people walking back and forth behind me. I am a little more private.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice.
So
So
is
what?
any,
So why is this time of year? Why is it quiet for your business?
It just is. Around Christmas time, it starts slowing down. Like I said, I really was busy this fall. I had, like I said, 8 new clients starting. And then I said, they only have to come here for just so many times, so many sessions. And, most people started September, October, November area. So they finished their sessions around Christmas time. A few of them had a couple sessions left over to come, but it's at their own pace when they want to do it, right? And people are busy at Christmas time, so they cancel their appointments. And trying to get back at things, back into the groove of things in January, I just find they kind of fall off, and that's what happens. And even I was talking to my girlfriend who's a naturopath, and she says that is kind of a natural progression when you have a business like that. People get busy over the Christmas holidays, and then, people will start coming back. But this wintertime is kind of slow for that. People think about, physical exercise and stuff like that, but don't think of retraining their brain. It's just been a very difficult business to promote and for people to understand. And I
Mm-hmm.
get that. But I mean, it's still my passion that I still want to pursue. because I see such benefit in it, even for myself too. And my husband, it's just been amazing with it. And the clientele that have come for the training, it's just been amazing for them too. And it's mostly word of mouth that I get my clientele. So then it just kind of goes in waves, at times. But that's kind of the nature of the business. And talking to other trainers, I got to be part of a user group this summer, which I was quite pleased about, and I have to go to Waterloo for that. And they're the same thing. Unless they have another service to offer with neurooptimal, it can go up and down. So, and then also too, this last week too, I think it was kind of got me down in the dumps, which is a good thing in a way. One of my clients, it worked so well for her that she bought a system. And I used to be the only neurooptimal trainer here in the Niagara region, which I was kind of proud about, and it kind of gave me a feeling of safety. But now she's opened her doors in St. Catharines. So she's going to be...
So you're in Fonthill and she's in St. Catharines?
Yes, yeah.
Wow, that's pretty close. I'm wondering, is there a way you guys can work together so you're not working against each other?
Yeah, she works mostly with children and she's also a counselor, right? So she hasn't offered that. I mean, my thing eventually, I would love to open a clinic to help people and to help kids with ADHD like that too. But right now, like I said, it's just trying to get it out there.
Yeah.
So, at first she said she bought the system and just to help her family, because her and her husband were coming to me, but they saw such benefit in it that she decided to buy a system. But she kind of presented to me that, she eventually open her doors and, use it on her clients. But I saw last week that she's already advertised on the Neurooptimal site as someone who's offering Neurooptimal to her clients already. So it was that with that intention too, which it makes sense being a counselor that she would, but it just kind of, I don't know, deflated me a little bit. But I'm the type of person that I like to, offer help and support people. I figured, okay, she does like it so much that I figured, she did buy a unit. So I did have her husband and her over here a week ago she wanted to see the system and how to set it up from this side, being a trainer instead of being a client. Right. So I had her over and I answered some questions and I gave her some, literature and stuff like that too to help her out. Because I figured, you know what? You got to help. And I mean, it's just what's out there right now and going forward. Like I said, she's going to be working more with children. Right. And,
Which is why, it may be a benefit for you guys to work together. Like if she has children, but then she can send the parents and anyone else to you, or once.
Well, she would be able to work with both, right?
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
She can. As I said, it's not the fact that we're limited to work with anybody. Anyone could be a trainer. Anyone could open their doors. That's how simple the system is. It's an amazing system. It is. So, like I said, being a colleague now, like I said, I'm going to try to offer her the support. And I figured, I'll get my clientele from, my word of mouth from the people that I have trained.
Exactly.
And just trying to get the word out. So,
I think
networking myself.
I think what needs to happen is for you to be able to use the platform that's the PPA. It's something she doesn't have.
Well, that's what I thought too. Yeah.
As the leader, we can promote you that way and push that. Yeah. Especially with you running workshops and getting your message out there.
Right.
Doing, like when we did that interview, doing more things like that.
Yeah.
And scheduling things like that. I think that would be a real benefit.
Yes.
I don't think anyone else is joining us, sweetheart. I think it's just
okay.
Today, which is kind of cool. No one else is here, but I wanted to tell all of you, so I'll send them a note after this when I send them the link. You guys have all the workshops that we've already done.
Yes.
So I need you guys now, what I want you to do is to schedule a time with me. Pick the workshop you want to do. If that's the first one, it's the second one, whichever one really called to you that you're super comfortable with right now. And you're actually going to lead that workshop for me.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So which is super simple. You're going to be fantastic. Biggest thing. So I'll send the notes of all the things that I'm going to be looking for, but
Okay.
they're going to be things like bring your personality into it.
Okay.
Which is your own stories, your own experiences. As you know, Mia, when I do this with you, I do that. I bring in my own stories. I bring in my own experience. Asking questions is a big thing.
Heidi,
You know,
you're
so does
frozen.
anyone, you know, like,
Heidi,
has anyone?
Heidi, you're frozen right now, and
Yes.
I missed some stuff.
Oh, am I back yet?
You're back now, yeah, but you froze there for a
Okay.
minute.
Okay, so where did you miss me?
You're just bringing in your
Oh,
experiences.
you're frozen. Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah, you're freezing on me.
Frozen. Oh my gosh, you froze on me.
And then you froze on me again. So, is it okay now?
Hello. Nope, you're frozen. You're completely frozen, Mia.
Okay.
Are you back? You're back for me.
You're back. Okay, and you're back for me now.
Okay, you're back. Yeah, you were completely frozen too.
Okay.
Okay, well, whatever you're doing, cut it out. Okay. Mike thinks it was him. He was doing something.
Oh, I'm streaming videos.
Oh, stop streaming videos. Okay, so where did I leave you? So
Okay, so bring your own experiences.
Yeah, your own personal stories, most definitely. So when you're going through the workshop itself, really make notes for yourself about, you know, a personal experience where this happened. Anytime that personal experiences or stories are brought into it, what ends up happening is people remember it more.
Okay.
So they remember that specific point because they remember something that is so casual. It's not like a lesson. It's a story that gives more of the lesson.
Okay.
So ask questions was the next thing I said. So throughout, if you notice, I'll stop sometimes. It's like, has anyone experienced that? You're very good at this, Mia, because anytime I ever say, has anyone ever experienced that, you always interject with your experiences, which is great. I don't know if you've noticed with some of the others, I kind of have to push them. You know, I'll have to say, you know, Victoria, like I feel just because I know her, and you'll get to know the people that you're working with. Honestly, just relax, get to know the material. I think the fact that you guys have gone through it, you do know it. So it's just a matter of going back. You have the video. You can go back and watch the video of it, you know, to see how I did it or how we discussed it. But as you're preparing for whichever one you want to do, definitely reach out to me with any questions that you have.
Okay.
Okay, so now it starts to get fun.
Real. It's getting real.
Fun.
Yeah.
No, Mia, I have to tell you, I think you're going to be phenomenal at this. I think some of the others, I'm definitely excited about them going forward as well. I think they're going to need a little bit more work. But I feel right out the gate, you're going to be really great at this. You're a great communicator. You speak in front of people all the time. And I just feel for you, it's just going to be letting go of just, you know, that I'm giving a workshop and that it's just, I'm chatting with friends.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
I have to try to get that out through my head.
You're going to be phenomenal at this. Don't you even worry. Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, I guess we should get started. I can't believe you missed perspective last week.
I know.
Like literally when I got to know it, I'm like, of all people, it's your favorite thing on the planet.
I know.
Oh my God. Well, this is a good one. Expectations. Expectations is really, it's a hard one. It's a really hard one. And even wrapping my brain around this workshop, I found I struggled with it myself because expectations are hard, and learning how to be more flexible with expectations and understand, you know, we're going to go through the differences between standards and expectations. And then even taking a step back further again, and the expectations that other people have on us and what ends up happening with their expectations and what happens. So this is a good one. So we spoke about this when we did the Empath course.
Sorry, that was me. I'm just trying to increase the volume.
Oh, no problem.
I
I was
lost
like,
you
is
there.
someone coming on?
No, no. Okay, Heidi, I just lost you, so just one moment.
Yeah.
Okay. There we go. Okay, sorry about that.
No problem. Don't
Okay.
even worry. So we touched upon expectations when we did the Impact course. So, and the biggest thing we learned when we did Impact was that there are unrealistic and there are realistic expectations that we put out there. And the moment that this gets unhealthy is when we attach an emotion to it. So that's going to be flavored all the way through this, but we've expanded on, like, this workshop expands expectations so much more than what we did in Impact. So of course we all have expectations in our lives, what we want out of life and who we want to become. Most definitely, that's where they come. It's said that one of the keys to happiness lies within the management of expectations of people and circumstances, and it is the management. Often we tend to believe that the way we treat others will be the way that we are going to be treated in return. When, hands down, that's one of the worst expectations we have. Like, you're laughing because you know this is true.
My husband yells at me all the time. He goes, Marie, he goes, you know. I said, yeah, I know. I said, but you know what? The day I stop believing in people and having hope, I said, you're going to put me 6 feet under. Because I said, you know what? I'm never going to give up hope on people.
I know, 100%. But there's a huge difference. I love that you use the word hope. Yeah. Hope is a very different thing from expectation. You can have hope in someone. Like, I hope they're going to become better people. I hope they're going to be have more gratitude or whatever it is. And you can help bring that into the world. But the moment that that hope turns into an expectation that when they don't follow through, you're disappointed, you're angry, you're whatever, that's very different.
Every time.
Yes, right? That's exactly the way. See, having realistic expectations will allow you to accept the flaws in yourself and in other people. Yet, disappointment, irritation, anger, and sadness most often arise because others didn't respond to us in the way that we wanted them to. And that is exactly what happens. So, unrealistic expectations will and can, and most often do, lead to disappointments. They do. They're unrealistic. So, unrealistic expectations. These are perfect examples. So, lack of preparation and expecting perfection. That one is by far my favorite. How many people do that? Kids are synonymous for this because, I don't know why I got a D. Well, maybe because you played video games all night instead of studying. So, I never fail. First of all, we all fail. We all screw up. We all fall down. We all make mistakes. Everyone loves me. This one is an unrealistic expectation that a lot of people struggle with, and it gets them into trouble. It's everyone loves me. No, they don't. They don't. And then what happens is when you realize someone doesn't love you, it's almost like you go out of your way more to make them love you. It's like, let it go. If that person doesn't like you, they don't like you. They don't have to.
You're okay with that one.
What?
I'm okay with that one.
I know. Can I tell you? But I'm such a person that I really just love everybody. I always see something really great in someone.
Yes.
And for me, this one came. It wasn't until I got older. Age is a wonderful thing, where I was then okay with everyone doesn't love me, and that's okay. Like, I'm really okay with that one now. There won't be conflict. There's always going to be conflict. Always. That's beyond ridiculous. Now, unrealistic expectations for others. I will be understood. Others meet all my needs. No, they don't. No, they don't. Others are just as passionate. That one gets me all the time. I always think that everyone's going to be just as passionate about what I'm so passionate about, and they're not. Everyone engages the same. That's a huge one, especially when it comes to children. Everyone learns the same. Everyone has the same work ethic. Oh my gosh, that one hurts way too many people in especially a corporate environment. And people resent each other because of these expectations. These are all unrealistic. So how do we get rid of these unhealthy expectations? Number one is taking sole responsibility for our expectations. Only by taking responsibility for our own needs and wants is anything going to be a positive experience. Those positive experiences will come more often if we keep a vigilant eye on our own expectations and assumptions of things. That's another one where we assume something and it doesn't come through. Expectations can either be reasonable or unreasonable. They can be expressed or implied. Expectations that are communicated have a chance of being met. If we are open to communicating our wishes and desires with another and can accept that, sometimes they cannot be met, we can more accurately determine how viable, important the relationship is. So that's a huge one, taking responsibility, but again, communicating that. It's like, I'm taking responsibility for my expectations, but I'm going to be clear and communicate what it is, and then we're not setting ourselves up to fail. Separate the wants. Oh my gosh, this one hurts so many of us. Should versus wants point to head versus heart choices. The shoulds come from our super ego or the parent voice in our heads and points to expectation. When we think we should be doing something, there is far less chance we will find success, happiness than any other place. A choice made from the heart is what that is. Far too many people don't achieve what they set out to do because they did something thinking they should do it, not because they want to do it. And how many times have things like that happened where it's like, well, I really should just go and do that. And like Michael say, yeah, but you don't want to. And I'm like, you're right, I don't. So why I'm like putting these expectations on myself for no reason. So for example, this is a perfect one. And this is my mother on me. I should wear my contact lenses because my mom thinks I look prettier and expects me to.
Oh my.
Yes. So what I want to do is wear my glasses because they're more comfortable. That's what I want to do. I shouldn't wear them because it's her expectation on me. See? It's like such a simple thing, but we do these things time and time again. So that's an unhealthy, unrealistic expectation. We have to want and not should. So you're going to really start to notice now, just going through this, how many times that the shoulds show up in your life. And every time that shoulds shows up, you're going to be like, oh my God, this is an unhealthy expectation.
You're right, though. I think with age that we get over that. I remember when the boys are younger, the mother says you have to have, the babies have to have a soother. Have to have a soother. My boys were very fortunate. I was very fortunate. Both boys never wanted to soothe it. They never sucked their thumb.
Oh, wow.
But I had soothers, Heidi, so that when I went to my parents' house, I would clip it to their shirt so they had a soother. My mother would go and shove the soother in the kid's mouth and they would spit it out. But
no way. That is ridiculous.
Yeah. They have to have a soother. They have to. So I gave them a soother when they went to my mom's house.
It's so true. It's even like, I have a girlfriend and she's one of these people where everything is just, these expectations that she feels society puts on her. And like, you should have your kids in all these extracurricular activities. So her daughter was in hockey and like really like competitive hockey. She was a goalie. And she got to a point where she was like, I don't want to play hockey anymore. I just don't want to play it. And so she came to me because we were up at her cottage and she's like, I want to be able to talk to my parents, but they said, I have to finish because I've started this. So I have to finish whatever I've started or whatever. And so I went to Lynn and I said, what's going on with Megan and hockey? Like, it sounds to me like she doesn't want to. And she's like, no, like she has to, because like, what are other people going to think? It's like they should be in it. They have to do it. It was this expectation of what everyone else. And I said to Lynn, Lynn, I got to tell you, people are too fixated on their own lives to care if you have your daughter in hockey. Like, yeah. I'm serious. This is ridiculous. But everyone else had all their kids and so many, it's like, you just have to do it instead of what her daughter wanted. And she did. She finished out all the hockey all the way up till, I think she just completed it. Now they're done because it's like they get to a certain age and then they're done that whatever it is. And then if they want to go on, and she was like, and I'm done. Wow. And her mother was devastated. And I'm like, wow, okay then, there you go. But it's so true. That's what happens. So it's like skip the should expectations and fall back on your wants is the number one thing here. So living in the present. The decision choices of life happen in the moment. How many times, Mia, do we talk about living in the present? It is the key. It is the key. It is the key. It really is. To living life is living here. Expectations continually make you look ahead into the future. It's always the expectations. It's like you had, the soother before you would go over. It's like, what's going to happen. So you're already so many. It's like, I love how this one where it's like a chess player, you're always thinking eight moves out. That's expectations.
Yeah.
Constantly 8 moves out, you're thinking. Mm-hmm. Expectations will keep you there. Whereas if you stay here, you're not necessarily, you're not in that unhealthy expectation.
Is it fair to say too that with high expectations like that, realistic expectations, you miss the contentment in life?
Mm-hmm.
You just
100%.
You're not content ever. Doesn't matter if you meet that expectation or not. Then you're not content, because then all of a sudden there's a next level, and you're always chasing and not living the moment.
Yes, and those are very, very high expectations. Yeah. It's like and high the very, very high like that comes from striving for perfectionism. It's like there's no such thing. Yeah. We discussed that at length when we did Empath. There's no such thing as perfection. Mm-hmm. So why are you chasing it? It's those high expectations. So accept or let go. That is, oh my God, we're just talking about, that's exactly what this is. One of the biggest challenges we face in life is learning to accept people for who they truly are. And that's why I love that you said hope, because it's like accepting, I hope they're going to get better, but it's also accepting who they are right now. As soon as you put them into that expectation place, then it becomes unhealthy. So once you realize that your expectations cannot change people, the better off you will be. The problem will arise when the expectations do not materialize. So that's what happens. Then emotion kicks in, and we're much more than the people you surround yourself with. It may be time to find a new group of friends. So that's the letting go part. Most definitely. Check your foundation. This is a big one. Checking your foundation means taking a hard look at whether or not you believe actually matches your reality. Insanity, I love this one. Honestly, insanity is often touted as doing something over and over, expecting something to change. And so that is a huge one.
Well, Pavin, I said E plus R equals O. I knew that for years, and it's true. How many times do we beat our head against the wall doing the exact same thing, the exact same event, expecting a different outcome every time?
Every time.
It's changing our reaction to an event that will change the outcome. But we fall into the same category every single time and expect the outcome to be different.
100%. Yeah. Mike would always say to me, I would get so upset when I was at the Marilyn Dennis show. It's like I was doing the same thing over and over again, and I would, shift it just slightly and then do it. But the thing is I kept expecting a different reaction to it. I kept expecting the reaction I would have to it, and that never occurred. And Mike would constantly say to me, you're being insane. Literally, I was being insane because I was doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different reaction, and that's never going to happen. It's just not. So it's constantly checking that foundation. Does what you're doing and what you believe actually match that reality? It's like, that's just how it is. That's just the way I am. It's like, okay, none of that is true. By taking a step back from a consistently disappointing experience and looking at whether or not you're starting from a realistic place will help you adjust your perspective in such a way so as to more accurately match reality and get a potentially different outcome. That one's huge. It really is. That's a huge one. Implementing healthy expectations. Woohoo! We can be healthy. When you set realistic expectations for ourselves, we can avoid a lot of bumps and bruises that come from disappointments and enjoy happier and a life that is more fulfilled. So, healthy expectations. I'm going to make mistakes. Hell yeah. Always. We have to learn from them. That's the big thing. Self-compassion. That's something I've definitely had to learn this week, is to have self-compassion for myself and let myself go through the journey of what I had to go through, instead of like, I'm going to be fine. It's like, no, I'm not. Because every time I kept trying to get back up, pushed back down again. I may fall and it's okay. That's definitely something that and I think yourself, Mia, what you're going through right now, it's okay. It's really okay to have a bad week. It's okay to be down. It's okay for you to be disappointed that your client is opening their own business, the same thing as you. That's okay. Now it's just time for you to readjust.
Yeah, no, you know what? It's a challenge, and this challenge is in my life for a reason. And someone asked me, why would you have them over to help them? But I figured that's what I do. And I figured I would be disappointed in myself to say, no, I'm sorry, but I can't. You're now a competition. I'm not like that. You know what? This competition has been put in my life for a reason. And like I said, she loved it so much that I said she bought a unit. Hey, you know what? I could say that to people now, Now, I did ask her for a testimonial. She hasn't given me one. But I figured, you know what? I asked. At least I had, And
you can follow up, Mia.
I will, yeah.
You can definitely follow up. She could have just gotten busy.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think you should definitely follow up on that. Mm-hmm. So there you go. I'm human. That's a realistic expectation. Your friend could be human right now and just forgot about it. Yeah. So we have to remember that. I work to the best of my ability. Yes. Realistic expectations of others. Disappointments can happen. As a parent, this is something we definitely have to understand, that they are going to disappoint us. That's okay. But we shouldn't get angry about it, because that's a realistic expectation that these things are going to happen. Everyone learns at their own pace and their own way. 100%. My kids are very different that way, right? Yeah. Like, it's completely different. So I can't expect one to be doing just as good as the other when they're like, one is very black and white and doesn't have a lot of gray. Lines need to be very straight, whereas the other one is like very artistic and laid back. And, so they're going to learn completely different ways. Okay. I honor everyone's style. Hallelujah. Oh my gosh. If you could have seen how my son Hayden dressed compared to how Michael dressed, it's like, love it. Everyone is responsible for their own success and happiness. Yes, it is not up to us. Everyone's success bar is different, and everyone is responsible for their own self-care. So you can't expect someone else to be doing that for you. We need to do that for ourselves. That is a big one. So here are a few common practices to add healthy expectations to your life. Taking action. This is very much like up at the top where we talked about responsibility. This one is taking action. We should all strive for growth and improvement, but are your expectations realistic? Take a step back to understand where your expectations of yourself are. Once you understand your own expectations, you can set realistic goals and take action. So it's really understanding where you're coming from with your own expectations. So I have some examples here, which is, here's a reasonable expectation. Paying an extra $100 a month towards bills will pay off my debt faster. That is a very healthy expectation. If I do that, I set this schedule, I pay my bills, and then add $100 more, I'm going to pay it off. An unreasonable, unrealistic expectation is paying when I can and not by a schedule will lower the debt quickly. No, probably not. It's just not. There's no schedule. So when it's not, all of a sudden, it's like, why? My expectation was this was going to be paid off faster. It's not going to. So this is where the take action part comes in. So setting goals to achieve expectations by listing out some of the major expectations you have in your life. And this is a big one. And I feel like a lot of people don't do this. They don't actually list the expectations. They'll list their goals or whatever, but what are your expectations from those? Become debt-free, lose weight, find your soulmate, whatever it is. What are your expectations in life? I wish someone had these conversations, and I don't know about you, when we were younger, because I feel like so many expectations are put on ourselves by other people, but we don't sit and go, what are my expectations of what I want to do going forward? So what you want to do here is then create a list of 5 to 7 actionable items for each major life area. So here's the example for the debt-free one. Gather all the information about your creditors. Make a spreadsheet with all of my debts. Calculate my current budget and how much it is reasonable to cut so that I can put a little extra towards my debts. Contact creditors to negotiate interest rates. So now the expectation is that I'm going to actually pay this off. I'm actually going to do this. But now, how do I go about doing it? If that's what my expectations are, seek help from my accountant. Begin putting the extra amount on the smallest bills, pay consistently until paid off, and then hello, celebrate, because that's all I love to do. So it's taking action with those expectations that is going to make a difference. Seriously, why didn't someone teach us this? Why isn't this taught in school? I have no idea. Okay, reconsider your expectations of others. Oh my gosh, this is so huge on so many levels, because this is where a lot of disappointments in life come, and it comes down to other people that are in our lives. When we hold expectations of others' behavior and link it to our own happiness, it is a recipe for disaster. So, example, I will stay at work a half hour later and work ahead and make the workload easier for my team. That's a very normal thing. People do this. The unreasonable thing is everyone should be willing to put the same amount of effort into his or her job as I do. So what happens is the reason why, like, I'm going to do this. This is an expectation I'm putting on myself or everyone else. But the moment that I put that expectation on everyone else, like, what am I doing? Am I doing this for me and my team, or am I doing it because I'm expecting stuff from other people? So how to adjust? So respecting others means allowing them to be themselves, and also realizing people can't read minds. Nobody can read your mind. And as women, we are the worst at this. We are the worst. We are the worst. The biggest one we do is when our husbands say to us, "Are you okay?" And we go, "Fine." It's like, we're not. Oh, I think you just froze.
Yeah, you froze too.
You froze with the prettiest smile on your face, though.
Yeah. Okay, I can hear you though, but like I said, we're both frozen. Can you hear me? Heidi? Can you hear me? Okay, I think I lost her. It's recording. Okay. Okay.